Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and huge shout out to Vanilla Saga for sponsoring this video and giving us an opportunity to showcase something for you here on the channel and introduce you to a new game. Vanilla Saga is completely free to try it out, and I will give you the links down below that you will need to try the game out if you are interested. And in this video, we're going to do a few things. I'm going to start with showing you the quick and short trailer just to give you an overarching view of what the game looks like and what it represents. And then we're going to dive into the actual game and showcase some fun stuff like summoning. I'll show you what battling looks like and give you my thoughts on some of the basic mechanics of the game and what it has to offer. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so let's start out with checking out this trailer together. It's really short. It's like 1 minute. So yeah, as you saw at the end of the trailer, it says Vanilla Saga Retro Real Idle RPG. It is an RPG with a lot of the mechanics that you will be familiar with summoning and doing battle. You can choose between manual and auto, and it does also have one of those AFK idle mechanics where you can claim some rewards idly in the game. And also you can see the general art style, which is going to be that Eastern fantasy anime style. So, okay, now you'll see over there on the right side that I have got the actual game pulled up that I am playing here for you. Now, there is a lot of different mechanics. You've got your stuff like the world map, and you've got your summoning and all of that going on. So this is kind of like the campaign area. And then this right here is the idle rewards I was talking about. You can claim these. It says AFK for 51 minutes while I've been working on this video. And right there, you can confirm that, and then it will start adding up again. That is the idle resource gathering mechanic. And it kind of gives you the aesthetic up top there of your heroes idly farming the resources for you as you go about it. So let me show you what a battle is going to actually look like here, and then we'll dive into to showing you the summons and how all of that breaks down. Now, you're going to be choosing which heroes you deploy right here, and you can also do some cool things like equip certain runes, level up those runes to make them stronger. You can see the level of your runes compared to their runes. I don't want to throw too much at you. I just want to kind of show you the basics. I don't want to overwhelm you by showing you too much, but that is kind of the general gist. You can see your level versus their level. My champions are over here on the left versus the enemy over here on the right that I'm trying to defeat. There's also artifacts that you can equip and get extra power from as well. So we go ahead and click battle. You can do auto or manual. Right there on the bottom right, you can see the option to auto or ×2 or ×4. And then I've got it on auto right now, so it will show the names of my heroes and then cast their abilities optimally for me, so I don't have to manage it manually during the stage. Then at the end of the stage, you get the victory screen. And a really important thing to note is you want to pay attention way down on the bottom right. You can see the little graph icon. You click that, and you get a nice breakdown. Important to monitor stuff like this as you're leveling up, as you're playing, so you can really see what your heroes are doing. Up top, you get a breakdown of the damage dealt, the healing done, and then the tanked amount right there on the bottom. So you can see that right here, 3.67 million damage, 731k healing, 288k damage tank. So this gives you a good breakdown of who your leading damage dealer is, who's doing a really good job healing, who's tanking what amount of damage, and all of that. So definitely monitor monitor those numbers as you're learning the game and trying to decide which heroes to be investing in. And then from there, the way that we get to the summoning mechanic is we go to the city right here, and then we're going to head on into the Shattered Axe right here. And this is where you can kind of choose between the different areas of summoning. You've got your regular, your faction, your friendship, all sorts of these different mechanics. For now, in this video, I'll show you the regular summons. Now, the way it's going to work is kind of typical for those Eastern style fantasy games where you've got the different R, SR, SR, and then usually the top tier champions are going to be the SSR. That's what you're going to be going after when you are pulling for summons. And by clicking the little eye on the right side of the summoning section, that will pull up the summoning odds for the different SR, SSR, and then the different heroes as well have different breakdowns on their odds. And if you're not familiar with the SR or SSR system, because it is a little bit different than the main game that I cover here on the channel, it's basically like rare, super rare, and then strong, super rare. You can kind of think of it as, I don't know if that's the exact acronym, but the SSR is going to be like the strong, super rare, what you're going to be going after as the best champions in the game. And yeah, it looks like we're going to be about 5% per pull to get an SSR champion. So hopefully we can do some 10 pops here and make it happen. So let's go ahead and pull it, and we'll live react to how this is going, and I'll walk you through what the summoning process is like. So for the first one, I'll show you what the animation is like here. All right, there we go, SR. And you can kind of click through it here. So hopefully on a 10 pop, we would get at least one SSR. We're kind of hoping for. And there it is. SSR of Lawrence, a ranged DPS AoE burst group environment. And down here, you can see the Knights Alliance and how the different mechanics kind of work countering each other. Then it also shows right next to it that Lawrence is a ranger, which is good at dealing damage and can deal damage from a distant in a stable and efficient way. Now, remember when I showed you the battle mechanic when we were in the journey section, showing you how the battle functioned, and then I showed you the stats at the end of the stage. There is a front row and a back row. So typically, you're going to try to place your tanks in the front and your damage dealers, your supports, and stuff like that in the back row. Which means that Lawrence here would be a good candidate for a back row SSR damage dealer. But okay, let's keep on going here. And as we clicked on through to that, it's showing us right here the result of what our 10 pop was. So you can see the different heroes. So the baseline ones, the Rs are not highlighted, and then the SRs are going to be highlighted, and then the epic looking purple highlighting is going to be the SSR in the Lawrence that we just summoned as the last part of the 10 pop. So let's do another one here. Let's pull a 10 pop and see how it goes. This time I'll kind of start to skip through the animations. You can skip it via up on the top right, and then it just lays out the whole summoning here. So we did not get an SSR, but we did get 4 SRs in that 10 pop. So let's at least pull until we can get another SSR and see if we can get a different role than a ranger, or kind of how that plays out. Okay, so here we go. Uh-oh, come on now. We're 5%, which isn't too bad of odds when you're doing a 10 pop. We should, you would think, you know, somewhere like out of every 2 or 3, we should get an SSR. And here we go. Hopefully that means that we got it. And boom, we got an SSR right here, United Tribes, and a tank, which has an outstanding ability to survive and can effectively resist damage or protect allies. So there it is. Oh, wait, did we get... Okay, I thought for a second there was going to be 2 SSRs, which would have been great. So there again is the overlay of the 10 pop, and we can see our SSR tank that we acquired up there on the top right. So now that we showed you how the summoning functions and what that looks like, I want to show you some of the heroes that I've got developed here and walk you through some of the mechanics and how the champions work in game and how they function, some of the basics of that. So right here, you're seeing an SSR mage that I've invested in. And right here in the middle, you can see the different element that they are. You can scroll through here with the arrows up top. So I've got a mage and then a tank, and then a fighter, and then a support, and another support. I typically like supports to help keep things healed up and help make sure that I'm enabling my tanks and damage dealers. But you can see the different roles and how they function in game. And then I like to keep it down here on the bottom right. I like to swap it over to details instead of basic. That way you get a nice breakdown of the stats. And then if you click on the far bottom right under skill, you can see some of the stuff that they do in game. You can see what level their skills are, and then also how they are going to function during the fight. And sometimes these skills can do all sorts of cool stuff, like the energy skill up here on the top left. A flush of disorienting flowers spreads across the battlefield, confusing enemies in a straight line, making them attack each other for 3 seconds. And then we level up to get more effects. At level 2, we confused enemies won't gain energy from their attacks. Then the level 3 is enemies are not confused for 4 seconds instead of 3. So taking that as a 25% buff, taking it all the way up from 3 to 4, which is obviously a big buff to have that CC last for 4 seconds instead of 3, was showing you how impactful leveling up these skills can be. So really pay attention on that graph when you're trying to decide who to really invest in, and pay attention to the damage dealt, the healing done, and then the tanking provided for your team. And what can help you in getting more value and increasing the numbers on that graph is going through some of the champions that you use and see how they synergize. Make sure they are, you're getting the right champions in the front row or the back row, and getting good champions that work well together with synergistic abilities. And like I said, I don't want to overwhelm you, but down on the bottom, I do want to at least explain that there is gear as well you want to pay attention to. You got 4 different slots here. You can do an auto equip. If you tab over to the basic tab on the right side, it will let you unequip all, auto equip, and all that different stuff. And you can also do some enhancing on the gear and all sorts of different mechanics there. So definitely a lot going on here, a lot of different ways for you to play around with the different heroes that you're investing in when it comes to building teams and strategies. So yeah, huge shout out to Vanilla Saga for giving me an opportunity here on the channel to showcase a new game for you. And like I said in the intro, I will provide the link for you to try it out completely free of charge down below if you like what you see and would like to give the game a try. So that'll do it for me on this one. As always, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.